Tony, you've been out on the pitch for the first time here. Now, what are your impressions?
It's good condition, it's very flat and quite wide, and hopefully it'll suit our style of play.
It's been a marvellous cup run, but now you're nearing the moment of truth again. Are the nerves beginning to bite?
No, I don't think so. Individual players suffer different types of nerves. Personally, it's never really bothered me. Just another game, you know?
It really is calm as that?
Yeah, just another game.
Well, it's pretty obvious those two fellas are enjoying their cup run. So let's get straight on with the action and join our match commentator, Martin Tyler.
Phil Chambers at the head of a Barnsley side that takes into this tie the proud boast of just one defeat in the last 23 games. Hunter getting a mixed reception, and the cheers from the Barnsley supporters intermingled with the two of a less friendly nature from the Enfield contingent of more than 1,000 followers who've made the journey north this morning. And here come the Isthmian League side, setting out to sprinkle another dash of romance into the mix of this 100th FA Cup. Enfield today making club history with their first appearance in the 4th round. Derek Parker's scoring touch saw Barnsley safely through the 2nd and 3rd rounds of the competition, but he has fresh memories of the uncertainty of the Cup after being in the Southend side that went out last year to non-league Harlow Town. Barnsley make the one-in-force change. Martin New returning in goal for the injured Gary Pearce. New, who lost his first-team place when he was hurt in the first-round tie at Chester. Peter Burton is Enfield's top scorer, and by that quirk of fate, he returns today to the ground where he supported Barnsley as a boy and where he played in several schoolboy representative matches. Eddie McCluskey took his players training this morning and checked on the state of the pitch before announcing an unchanged side from that which beat Port Vale in the replayed 3rd round, with Lee Holmes again the substitute. Well, there's been some needle about this cup tie already, with remarks attributed to the Enfield camp referring to Barnsley players as camels. And before the kick-off, another little clash between the two clubs over socks, which led to an Enfield official dashing into town in a police car to buy this set of blue for an outlay of some £17, I believe. Today's referee, the familiar figure of Mr. Peter Willis from Meadowfield in County Durham. So Barnsley, 2nd in Division 3, kick-off against the last of the non-league survivors. Barnsley will defend the goal to the left in the first half, and Martin New with the cap on to protect against the sun, which is strong on a beautiful spring-like afternoon. Enfield have clearly had the FA Cup on their minds as they've gone about their local business in the Isthmian League and the attendant competitions. They've only won one of their last 8 meetings against fellow non-league sides. A poor run that stemmed from the moment that they beat Hereford United in the 2nd round. Of course, in that time they've also added the league scalp of Port Vale. This is John Tone. Put out by Evans. Ian Evans, who played against Enfield for Crystal Palace a couple of years back. It's all the way through to Tony Jennings. Away caught by Parker, and it needed Jennings to intercept. Jennings in the first place making life difficult for Wade, playing it short to him when he was under pressure here. Parker was there quickly, took it from Wade, but Jennings got back to redeem the error. Here's Ronnie Glavin. Bobby Down starting on the right for Barnsley. Down goes Trevor Aylott under the challenge from Keith Barrett. So the first test, cross ball for John Jacobs in the Enfield goal. Again, they're looking towards the area at the near post, and it was hooked away by Jennings. Foul by Bishop on Joyce. Enfield very conscious of the need to be tight in their approach at the start of this game. Not concede an early goal. Evans has come up on the back post, and it was Parker who met it. It's off the bar. Aylock trying to turn in the rebound, and here's Glavin, but it's out of play. But a let-off in the 5th minute for Enfield. Derek Parker looping the header over Jacobs, who was saved by his crossbar, and then by the retrieving header from Jennings. Now Banks. Leicester. Seem to play in midfield from Barnsley, which is one of their strengths, of course. Leicester going all the way, but good handling from Jacobs. Mike Leicester shimmying through to work a shooting position, as Enfield rather backed off. And safe handling though from John Jacobs. Burton. Here's King. Now we've got in advance of him. Tackle judged unfair, certainly from the angle of the approach, coming in from behind by Joe Joyce. Steve King, the postman from Kentish Town. And I understand there's a coachload of fellow postmen have come up and they're in the crowd watching today. Enfield leaving the free kick to Barrett. With Howell joining the end of the wall. And Barrett hits it! Well, Martin New really had to be at his most alert. It was an almost languid approach by Barrett to the ball. Howell perhaps peeling away to make the gap. And it was so nearly Enfield taking the lead. King will take the corner. Oliver and Burton poised to make their runs from the back, and that was Burton who couldn't quite make it, and Tone who could. And a chance here for Bishop, and Oliver has rolled it in, but it's disallowed. Whether Bishop had gone offside or whether there was a foul on the goalkeeper, it was Steve Oliver here who just scrambled it in. But the moment of elation ruled out. It was King's corner, and it dropped to John Tone, who shot, bobbled through, and New couldn't hold it. Bishop was in quickly here, and was clearly in an offside position as Oliver rolled it into the net. But what disappointment for Enfield, who thought that they'd taken the lead, but Bishop undoubtedly offside. Barrett. Here's Ashford. Finally King playing it in, and touched on for John Bishop, and again the goal is ruled out. So twice in the first 24 minutes, Enfield had the ball in the Barnsley net. Again, their expressions were a disappointed look. It was touchdown for Bishop here, who was clearly offside. Barnsley just can't get it away at the moment. Here's Barrett. Now Oliver. Finally, comes for Parker. Downs. Joyce outside him. John Tone, Joe Joyce, half stumbled, allowed to go on, which was good refereeing from Mr. Willis. Still looking for his first team goal. And it was a move that really was against the run of the play. Still caught with men forward, and Joyce showing enterprise and keeping his balance, but hooking the shot wide. Now Barrett. defensive style. And he was balked by Howell. It was a yard or so before Glavin had made an inroad into the Enfield penalty area. It really is what Ronnie Glavin is all about. And Ron Howell just flicking him down, just in time really for Enfield. Over the ball, Downs is the Barnsley player in the wall, and it's set up for Chambers. He beat the goalkeeper but beat the far post as well. Phil Chambers was the player just waiting to the left, and he was unattended too, struck it well. Here's Aylott. Jennings is the defender. Now Chambers. Glavin getting in front of Howell. He's forced to play it out again, Glavin. Trying to turn, and an indirect free kick given for obstruction by Ron Howell on Ronnie Glavin. Enfield, who have detailed their most experienced player in Howell to watch for the runs of Glavin. Always juggling to try and work a position. When the ball came back into him again, it was Howell who committed the obstruction. It's set up here for Banks. It was blocked by Tony Jennings as Enfield stood firm. And here's Tone trying to lead the breakout. And he, in his turn, is obstructed by McCarthy. You didn't hear the whistle, I don't think. And Mr. Willis speaking strongly to Ron Howell, who presumably was disputing the decision. And now with no yellow cards, it's not quite clear to see whether the caution has been recorded, but it seems so. Leicester, can Aylott make something of this? Enfield had 5 defenders around him. And the linesman flagging. It was Jacobs taking the ball outside the area as he cleared it. So serious problem for Enfield inside the last couple of minutes of this first half. Ball has 6 Enfield players trying to cover that near post, and it's chipped against the post, and Aylott with the simplest of tasks. And in the final minute of this first half, and really against the general run of play, Enfield are punished for the slip by John Jacobs in conceding that free kick. Glavin hitting the post, and it rebounded kindly for Aylott. And the half-time whistle goes, with John Bishop going off reflecting that he was the player adjudged offside on 2 occasions when Enfield had the ball in the Barnsley net and could have had the lead. But it was Trevor Aylott in the final minute of the first half, a goal greeted with a great deal of relief by the Barnsley followers after Enfield had given such a good account of themselves in this first 45 minutes. But at half-time here at Oakwell, it's Barnsley 1, Enfield 0. Peter Willis, who confirmed to us at half-time that he didn't take the name of Ron Howell for that incident when Howell obstructed Ronnie Glavin inside the Enfield penalty area. The goal from Trevor Aylott, only the second that Enfield have conceded in the competition. The beaten Epsom and Ewell, Wembley, Hereford and then Port Vale to get this far. Barrett playing in the free kick, whereas Barnsley have beaten Chester, Rotherham and Torquay. Joyce. Referee will take some stern measure here with Peter Burton for bringing down Joe Joyce. This time clearly the book is out. Joyce who'd released the ball, and Burton flinging himself in late. Rabbin was sent flying off the ball. Referee allowing Barnsley to go on. Parker, Leicester. Taylor gets it to Downs, and this is dangerous for Enfield. And it was deflected, I think, as Downs let fly and looped against the post and behind for a corner. See better from our camera behind the goal. As Bobby Downs cut in onto his left foot. As the challenge came in, there was a deflection. Going for Peter Burton up front against the tall Ian Evans. Burton spreads it wide here for Ashford. This looks more promising for Enfield. Burton going in behind Evans. And it was an important rescuing header from the former Welsh international. Oh, Ashford picking a route into a dangerous crossing position. And it needed Evans' intervention. Touched on by Bishop. Can Oliver turn? He got his shot in from inside the goal area. And again, Enfield continue to look dangerous when they get forward. Perhaps an opportunity here for Barnsley to break forward into space, and here's Glavin taking on Jennings, who timed the challenge beautifully. But Aylock collects. Is flagging for the ball having gone out of play, and Jacobs, well, it would be churlish to deny him the catch, although I think if the referee had spotted the linesman away to the far side, he would have blown his whistle. The play was still technically going on, and 5'6" or nothing, John Jacobs timed his approach beautifully. Lavin. Turning, trying to make John Tone turn here. The manoeuvre worked in the sense that Tone was pressurised into conceding a rather unnecessary corner. McCarthy striding up to the near post. And McCarthy flicks it on, and Jacobs swoops to make sure that the ball is his. The in-swinger from Bobby Downs, and McCarthy's little flick on. They've never really asserted themselves in midfield, Barnsley, as they've been doing so consistently in the third division this season. Leicester. Here's Glavin. Now Downs. Leicester in space, he plays it in short, and it's whipped in towards Aylock. Well, he could have put it beyond out there, and in all honesty should have done. Bobby Downs, skill as a crosser brought into evidence again, and Trevor Aylock unmarked beyond the far post should have scored. Enfield want to make their substitution, and it's Lee Holmes, who played for Brentford in the third division last year, indeed scored against Barnsley, who comes on, and it's Ronnie Howell pulled off with 9 minutes remaining. A lot. That's Parker! And the flag is up and it's been disallowed. So Enfield breathe again. As A-Lot flicked it on, Parker hooked it in and Mike Lester had gone offside. Downs. Now Lester. Pressured into the area by Ashford. Here's Oliver. Bishop ahead of him. Holmes trying to stay onside. Ashford trying to meet it, and New hesitated. And can Burton make it? Perhaps Steve King can! Inside of the post! And they will come no closer. It was John Bishop who curled it in. Ashford caused problems with his run and it came all the way through to Burton, and this was the chance that he had. A brave stop by New, and then Steve King thundered it in low, past the goalkeeper, inside of the post and back into the goalkeeper's arms. Here's Barrett. 2 minutes left on the watch. Can't keep it in. Now Enfield will be ruining a moment just before half-time. Perhaps Oliver can counter it now. It's in! And Burton has equalised! And they're off the bench. And would you believe such scenes? With a minute and a half remaining. The Enfield supporters, who must have believed it was never going to happen for them. And Steve Oliver crossed it in. Peter Burton got a touch, and it dropped past Martin New. Steve Oliver doing so well to get the cross in. And that was Burton's touch, and he could hardly believe it when it dropped into the back of the net. So what Barnsley did in the last moments of the first half, Enfield have copied. And it's no fluke, I can assure you of that. There's Evans, Parker, and Jacobs. To the biggest sigh of relief from the Enfield supporters behind his goal. The danger when you've just conceded, just scored a goal rather, that you're vulnerable at your own end. And Barnsley had players queuing up to make the header. Ronnie Howell, the substitute, ran onto the field when the ball went into the net, and now they're off the bench now. And Peter Burton, the Yorkshireman, who hardly had a kick, to be honest, throughout the game, wears a smile that lights up Oakwell. His header